and like to thank everybody for coming today. My name's Vicki Bennett, and I'm the Director of the Division of Sustainability for Salt Lake City, and extremely excited to be able to show that we are starting our first major solar farm. So we have speakers today. We're going to start with Mayor Becker, and then we'll move to Councilwoman Love, and then I'll come back and give a few remarks, and then we will have Art Anderson from Taylor Electric to finish this off. So, Mayor Becker.
Thank you, Vicki. What a bright day it is in Salt Lake City today. We're always appreciative of the sunshine, particularly in our winter months. But we are particularly pleased today to announce the beginning of the installation of our solar farm. It is the largest installation for solar in Salt Lake City. And by the end of next year, the city will have increased its internal solar generation by 55 times since the solar installation starting at the Leonardo in 2011. Solar, of course, solar energy and use of solar energy has incredible benefits for us as a city and as a region. It is pollution-free. So we are removing some of the contributions to poor air quality. We believe this is also a smart financial decision for the city and for the people, the taxpayers of Salt Lake City long term. And of course, we're achieving a lot of other benefits, whether you look at it in terms of energy security or whether you think of it in terms of just our overall quality of life and our goals as it relates to achieving our carbon footprint reduction goals for Salt Lake City. This solar farm will generate 1.4 million kilowatt hours each year, which is the equivalent of about 150 homes. The solar farm is also a critical piece of the net zero public safety building, which we opened in July. In achieving net zero and looking for the goal of achieving net zero, we looked at all of the options we had to produce enough renewable energy and also achieve energy efficiencies within the building. Because solar was the most cost-effective way for us to get to net zero, we realized we did not have enough surface area at the site of the building and on the building itself. And so making the decision to find another location led us here to where there's an old landfill that cannot be used for other purposes as well, because you can't build on it the way you would for building a lot of other kinds of structures. You really can only use the surface of the landfill. So in a way, it's a perfect setting for us to take advantage of a large area that's available in the city that can be used to produce renewable energy for us, solar, and at the same time make use of some property and some land that otherwise is not usable for many other purposes. So we're excited about this. Obviously, it's one of those achievements that a lot of people have worked on. I really commend Vicki Bennett, our sustainability staff, the folks who they have worked with in the public safety building, where we had some terrific expertise that was brought to bear. We've worked closely with Rocky Mountain Power, and we've worked with Utah Clean Energy and a lot of other experts and supporters in the community to find a way to achieve net zero in the public safety building. And going forward, we're looking towards more of our facilities being net zero in the future. And this solar farm is going to play a critical role, we hope, in achieving that. So thank you, and I'm happy to turn the time over to Councilwoman Remington.
Thanks, Mayor, and thanks, Vicki, for your leadership in this area. Solar is not just something that Salt Lake City government is doing, though. We are hopeful that our residents will consider solar as an option for themselves. Over the past decade, the cost of installing solar has dramatically decreased. Most homes will find a complete payback from solar installation within 10 years, after which their electricity is free. And with a typical solar warranted to produce power for at least 25 years, that's a good investment for any household. We encourage residents who thought residential solar was out of their reach to take another look at solarsimplified.org, a one-stop shop for comprehensive solar information in Utah. The City Council recently passed an ordinance setting up guidelines to help homeowners and businesses install solar systems. The guidelines add flexibility to the process, and at the same time, the ordinance works to ensure solar equipment is safely installed and compatible with the neighborhood, including in historic districts. I'm here today with Council Chair Kyle LaMalfa, and as a council, we are excited to support these solar initiatives. Thank you.
I'm standing here and smiling at Sarah Baldwin from Utah Clean Energy, and these are the projects that we've worked a decade on to make happen. And you just can't imagine how happy we are to see yet another large solar installation going in the city. We've been working since 2003 when we got our first $1 million solar roofs grant from the Department of Energy. 2007 we got our Solar America City grant, and with that we were able to find ways to streamline solar, make it so it was more cost effective, allow us as cities and individuals to do what's called net meter, to feed excess solar back into the grid, so we were able to balance out our use of solar over time. We worked with the Rocky Mountain Power and the Public Service Commission on interconnection standards, making it easier to connect solar to the grid. We put together with our GIS group and Kevin Bell a magnificent solar map that you can see on solarsimplified.org, where any citizen in the valley can look at their home and determine how much solar is likely to be produced if they put solar panels on their roof individually. We worked in 2011 and got what was called the Wasatch Sunshot Project, where we looked to find more streamlined ways to permit solar and make it easier for contractors to understand what they needed to do to permit solar and get their projects moving forward. So as you can see, this has been a long-term partnership. The solar industry, nonprofits. We've worked closely with Salt Lake County. They put a large solar project on the Salt Palace, which was the first extremely large solar farm in any place in the county. This is the first one that the city owns that's, this sort of size. And overall, we've been working to really ensure that we can produce solar and make it so it's really a viable alternative in the state. I think of when I put solar on my home a few years ago and the price I paid and what this is now costing, it's about a quarter of the price, coming down even in a 4-year period. With a reduction in prices like that, it really is making it so solar is a cost-competitive form of energy. So I really do have to thank our partners. It was Utah Clean Energy, Salt Lake County, Rocky Mountain Power. I really have to thank people I've worked with on this, our engineering division. We've put a lot of work into making this happen, and we're really happy now to turn it over to Taylor Electric to actually install this project. I'm thrilled that just in a week, you take a look, this was a pile of grass a week ago and mounds, and I can start to really visualize a solar farm. And I'm looking forward to the next time we get together and can plug it all in. So I'd like to turn the time over now to Art Anderson with Taylor Electric.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Art Anderson with Taylor Electric, and Taylor Electric is just honored to be part of this project. Taylor Electric did the electrical installation for the public safety building, so we're very excited to be out here to be able to make this a net zero project. How exciting is it that we can have an entire building this size that will be not taking any power off of the grid? It will be producing, what it's needed. A few years ago, we were lucky to get 150, maybe 200 watts out of these solar panels. This newest generation of solar panels will actually produce 300 watts per panel. So this field you see behind us will have over 3,000 panels in it to get our 1 megawatt system. So over the next year, as Mayor Becker said, 1.4 million kilowatt hours of electricity will be produced. That's going to reduce carbon emissions by 1,036 tons, which that takes a lot of cars off of the road. 126 houses would essentially not be on the grid. So it's really exciting to see this kind of project. The other thing is great is we're right here by the freeway. How many cars? Maybe 30,000 we estimate cars will drive past this site daily. Every one of them will be able to see what's going on. They'll be able to see the solar panels once they're in. I mean, this is just great for our community and our future for pollution. So I just want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting this, and thanks for putting it together and letting Creative Energies and Taylor Electric be part of this great project.
Are there any questions we can answer, or we can take them individually? Either way. Chris?
So your installation that you're going to be working on now is how many acres, and what fill this whole?
It's about 4 acres total, and it will fill basically what you see leveled out.
And so, sorry for my ignorance, but will this, will the energy, these panels, will it go onto the grid and back, or will it go just straight to the public?
No, excellent question. And the way that we are doing it, because of the way the regulations are written, we're allowed to do what's called net meter the electricity into immediately contiguous buildings. And part of the reason that this was such a perfect place to put the solar farm is, as you can see, we have city facilities all around us. So we're going to be actually putting the electricity into these city facilities. And then we will be taking what are called the RECs, renewable energy credits, and taking those credits and applying those to the public safety building. Right, well, we will be, one more? Yeah.
The cost of the construction of this, was that included in the bond to build the public safety building?
Some of the amount was from the bond, and some was from a fund that we had, an energy fund, yes.
And what would the total price tag be?
Approximately $3 million, and that includes pretty much all of the planning and such, yeah, from the beginning. Well, we'll be available for questions. Thank you.